I still think Ben's one of the greatest songwriters this country has, and has had for a long while. And I don't think that ever has a time limit on it. And I think, you know, the world's just waiting for another great Plan B album. Plan B.
Mate, Ben.
Plan B.
And how did you meet him?
I randomly met him I was supporting him at a gig when I was 15 in Dublin, and we met backstage. I entered this vocal competition that he had. He was signed to a label called 679 at the time. Entered it, was just like sing some tunes over his instrumentals, we'd pick the winner. I won a day with him in a studio in Leytonstone. I was 16. I did the day with him, and at the end he hugged me singing, and he was like, "Oh, you know, what are you doing now?" And I just finished school. I was like, fuck all, to be honest. Like, I didn't really do that great on my leaving cert, and I was kind of like scratching around for things to do. And he was like, "Yeah, just forget that. If you do want to move back to London and want to pursue this, I'll give you a place to stay. I'll give you a studio to use." And so I went and worked, saved some money up in Ireland, and then I just decided to move back. And I was just like, I packed my bag one day and moved back, and he helped me out, and I stayed with my aunt in Greenford, and you know, he kind of put it to me. He was like, "Do you want music to be a hobby?" You know, because he's like, this is that turning point. It's like, all right, you decide, all right, let me have a backup. And really that backup ends up becoming your whole life, and music becomes something you do on a Friday night at home, like quietly in the spare room, or like.
Would you get back in the studio with Ben?
Oh, always,
I bet you.
yeah,
Why didn't you? Have you ever talked about doing something together?
Not of recent. No, not of recent.
Give him a little.
But
I'm gonna get him to call him. Give him a little.
Ding, ding. I still think Ben's one of the greatest songwriters this country has, and has had for a long while. And I don't think that ever has a time limit on it. And I think, you know, the world's just waiting for another great Plan B album, and whenever that comes, it comes. He's got a space in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah,
from all his records, you know. Who Needs Actions, when You Got Words, was the record that I first heard from Ben. And then you've got Strickland Banks, you've got Ill Manners. You know, people are connected at different points in their life, and that doesn't really go away, you know. So